But what we're going to do next is the new belts. Now, crucially important at this stage, and this applies to anything with a timing belt, clean hands, or if you use gloves as I do, clean gloves. Absolutely critical, because the last thing you want to do is get your brand new timing belt contaminated with oil, grease, dirt, or anything else of that nature, because it will shorten the life of the belt. It's not good for it. So we take the belt. I'm just going to move this down so hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm up to down here. There we go. Smash in. Excellent. Okay, so we've got the old belt here, the new belt here, and I'm going to transfer the timing marks from the old belt to the new belt. I'm going to do the upright cylinder first for common sense reasons, because that one has to go on first. Quick check of all the pulleys and make sure they're still all in the right place, bearing in mind of course that you'll have to manually put load on the inlet pulley of the upright. So you take your Tipp-Ex or paint in my case, and start off with a random dot anywhere on the new timing belt. That's going to be your starting point. Now remember, on this timing belt this was 4 teeth up, so this is where the actual pulley aligns. So from here you need to count the number of teeth. So you basically from this point here, which is your timing mark at the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 36, 37, 38, 39 teeth to the first pulley mark. So we count 39, starting with the dotted one at number 1. And you can do this any way you like, as long as you reach the correct number. You can follow the walkthrough that I'll put a link to on this video. That will actually tell you where to put the dots by counting the teeth. But you get the idea. Basically, as long as the marks on your new belt correspond with the marks on your old belt, you cannot possibly put them in the wrong place on there. So I'm going to carry on and do that, and then I'll come back to fitting the belt. So I'll just pan this back up here for now. So we've done a count of dots, everything lines up, and I'm now in the process of fitting the top belt. So we've got the bottom one lined up here, we've got the top one lined up here. Now, before I put the tensioner pulley on, I'm going to do a slightly awkward one there. That's just slipped off the bottom, it has, which is a bit of a nuisance, but okay, so I need to take that off again. We are good at that. Excellent. Okay, so quick check, and I'll do a quick double check and count of the teeth as well, just to be absolutely certain for my own peace of mind. See if I can get the camera down here a second. Let's have a look. It's very awkward to see with all the wires and things in the way. I don't think it's going to show up very well, but what we do have is a yellow dot lining up down there, and then we have a yellow dot lining up there and a yellow dot lining up there, so it's all good. I probably can't see this very clearly, but what I've done here is I've overlaid the old belt onto the outer pulley at the bottom in the same location, and basically build it around to just double check and make sure it lines up. We've now got the fiddly awkward bit done. We've counted the teeth, we've got the dots lined up, everything's where it should be, and we've got the yellow bits matching with the yellow bits, or obviously white bits if you use Tipp-Ex. We've got the new nuts on the tensioner, but using the old washers because I didn't get replacement washers, but by the by. So and at the moment, as you can see, the tensioner there is quite loose. I can just spin that with my hand. What I'm going to do now at this point is tighten up the tensioner to a point where I can get. Now a 22mm spanner is handy, not essential because you can use an adjustable wrench of some description, but it certainly makes life a wee bit easier. So basically what I'm looking at doing is tightening up the tension to a point where I can actually, where it's kind of loose enough to be able to move the tensioner like so and have it stay put. Not quite tight enough there, tighten it up a little bit more. Essentially what I'm looking for is so I can focus on one thing at a time instead of having to try and jump those spanners and look at the tension gauge. I can just move this until I've got it in the right place, got the right tension set, and then I can just nip up the whole thing. So what I'm looking to do at the moment is just tighten both the belts up to a reasonable degree. And at this point I'm going to rotate the engine by hand using the back wheel as before, and nothing's going to move because the belts are on there and they're tight enough that nothing's actually going to be displaced or moved. I've double checked and triple checked all the timing marks and we're all good there. So what I'm going to do now is turn the bike over a full revolution with the back wheel and check that nothing's binding and nothing's out of place or doing anything it shouldn't be. Now once I've gone a full rotation, none of the dots are going to line up, but don't worry about that. As long as you know that they line up now, you know they're in the right place. Now, as you can see, we've now got a full rotation, a full revolution. Nothing's hit anything, everything's rotated smoothly. That's a good sign, we're going the right way. So I'm just going to give it one more spin around. So a couple of revolutions, as well as checking that nothing's binding or hitting. What you're doing as well is you are letting the belts settle properly onto the pulleys. And at this point is where you tension them. Okay, I'll just get around the other side and line up that mark. There we go. Timing mark down here, here, and the uprights there. That's grand. First one we're going to tension is this one, because this is a top dead centre and neither of these pulleys is under tension. This one, as you know, is under tension. So what we're going to do is rotate about 270 degrees to the second timing mark in the little window around the side that you saw. There's another timing mark 270 degrees on, where this one will be at top dead centre. I'll show you a little way on how to double check that this is actually at top dead centre as well, and make sure that the valves are closed. Okay, so at this point we need to grab our timing tool. We've rotated this a few times so that the belts have settled into the position that they're happy and comfortable with on the pulley system. And then we're going to set the tension using the number 4 button. You'll see there we've got the C7 button in place, and this is the test plate. Pull up the plunger, fit the test plate and release that. Now you'll see that it bows that. What you're looking for here is that it's reading at the bottom of the bottom line. That shows that the machine's working accurately and calibrated. So pop that back out, take out the C7 button, and we'll put the 4 button back in. We've tensioned the bottom one, we're on the top one. I'll actually go through the tensioning process with the top pulley, basically just because it's easier to see. And we've moved the wheel round in gear as before, and until it came onto the second mark, which brings the top one to top dead centre and takes these from being under tension. We'll take the tension gauge with the number 4 button, as you can see. Press the plunger like a syringe, holding the top, and put that onto the belt between the 2 top pulleys. You can see the line there. Now if I turn the tensioner pulley this way, you'll see that gets slacker. It comes out. and that's the bottom line you see there. Now if you ever check the tension of a timing belt with this tool and it's down there, that's when it needs replacing. That's gone too far. Okay, so what we do is we take the tensioner and we wind it in, and we're looking for that to meet with the bottom. Oop, got a bit too far there. We're looking for that to meet with the bottom of the top line. And again, a wee bit too far, just a little bit of jiggling. It's the first time I've used this, so it takes a wee bit of getting used to. And right about there, we'll take a little ratchet while I'm holding this one in place. Slot. Okay, that's not going to work, so I'm going to have to use a 12mm spanner, but that's not a problem. And what I want to do is nip up this lock nut nice and tight. Just check that that's good and tight now. Unfortunately I've moved the pulley there, so what I'm going to have to do is slacken that off a wee bit and do that again. But you get the idea. Essentially what this tool does is it measures the deflection of the belt, and obviously it's against a measured spring, so, and this gives you the correct tension. I'll show you the other methods in just a moment.